Hi, welcome to Game Week 2 Anti-Fantasy preview as well as team selection. My name is Axel, and really looking back into Game Week 1, I had a pretty decent time of it. The score of 28 is fantastic, and luckily all my assets did play. The downer really came from the Bournemouth double in the defense, but I don't think I should cry too much over that. I think that is unexpected. Rodrigo returning is also a little bit of a concern, but again, Leeds I think look lackluster in attack by and large, and I think I have to have one slightly risky pick as far as the midfield is concerned, slightly to fluff up the team value. I think my bench is pretty decent. Fernandez, De Bruyne, and Kane. Fernandez looks abysmal right now. So I think I'm pretty happy with the squad going forward, and I think it was a decent game week one from my anti-fantasy perspective. And I'm currently ranked 11th out of a total list of 79 in the anti-fantasy league. So do consider joining in, and don't forget to sign up before the deadline of game week 2. But really, let's dig deeper into the sort of strategy aspects of anti-fantasy, and we reference back some of the terms that we use, such as usefully useless players, UU, something like that. We'll also talk about the wrong train or BWIB, back where you belong, players. So that could be something interesting. But we must do our basics right, and we must focus on the worst teams and the worst players. So the worst teams are right here. Highest goals conceded. Clearly, Southampton is something that you can target, no doubt, and you wouldn't be too wrong if you target Southampton going forward. But something like Leeds does stand out from game week 1 from the data. XGC conceded, data again coming from Fantasy Football Scout. The West Ham, you have to forget them. Wins for XGC is the lowest amongst our teams, but forget them for facing Man City. Man City is most attacking side in the league. So skip West Ham, but Leeds really do stand out as having the worst data. They played Wolves. Wolves were not particularly good from the data of last year. Wolves scored barely achieved an XG of 1 per game, but conceding nearly 2 XG to them in one game. Leeds look awful. NFO, Nottingham Forest, also have pretty bad data against Newcastle, so they could be something to target also. But really, from the perspective of eye test, fixture difficulty, and most bookings, I think Manchester United do stand out. Uh, they were awful in the game against Brighton. They conceded chances left and center. Fixture difficulty, the fourth worst in the list. Over the next 5 games, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Newcastle, and Manchester United. So you should target the likes of Crystal Palace and Bournemouth. And of course, most bookings, again, the data is raw. Keep in mind, it's just one game week old. But conceding 2 to Brighton, who again traditionally don't attack well, as well as picking up 4 bookings, I think Manchester United has to be the core part of your anti-fantasy. You're not playing anti-fantasy if you're not picking up Manchester United. Conversely, if you have Manchester United, a couple of them or even 3 of them in your squad, you are playing anti-fantasy. So I think that's my most forceful point here with the highlights of Manchester United. Worst players, underachievers, or underachievers as far as XG data is concerned. I think it's not a very helpful table at this stage. You will not pick up going down the list. Number 4, Son, it's a proper fantasy pick. And the other players are not high value. Maybe Madison at 8 could be something if he does not improve his form through the season. But again, it's a dangerous pick. So I think pretty not a very useful table at this stage as far as usefully useless midfielders are concerned. And it's been tough to pick up, something like a Rashford would have been a staple. We discussed this earlier, but he's so far down in value this year, so it's really not very helpful. So let's look at wrong train or BWIP players who have done well and are likely to not do well going forward. I think Gross and Mitrovic scoring two in the first game is awesome. And there could be something to look at as far as dropping value is concerned going forward if they lose their form. But I don't think that their ownership is very high. Someone like Kulusevski who's just not going to touch them as far as anti-fantasy is concerned. Someone like a Rodrigo's bottom of the table there. I think I'm pretty happy with. He's got decent stats in game week one. But Leeds are not a very good side, and I think they lose form, and Rodrigo will shed ownership as he goes forward, so he might shed some value as well. So that could be something interesting. But again, very raw data, very early days, just the first game gone by. But yeah, let's see what how that data develops. But something I'm more excited about as far as research is concerned is definitely on the red card or bookings potential. And this is data in the table from last season where I've arranged the data as per yellow cards. And I think the total clearly stands out, Leeds stand out as most bookings to the last season. But something like Manchester United again, more than two bookings again through last season. I think it's something again that you have to target another data point that screams Manchester United as far as anti-fantasy is concerned. So, I mean, Maguire, McTominay, Martinez had shocking games, all got yellows in the game against Brighton at home, and you've got to target them. For me, it's a little bit challenging because Maguire, if I fit him in, then I think I have Fred as well as Fernandes elsewhere. So it's going to be difficult, and Sancho, of course. So I can't fit in the fourth Manchester United player, but you have to consider Manchester United very aggressively for a triple up in your anti-fantasy. Another anti-fantasy favorite, Shaka got his customary yellow in game week one, but Arsenal have decent fixtures, and I don't think we should target Shaka at this stage. So really, as far as team selection in game week two is concerned, pretty happy. I think the Bournemouth double in the back line will not sting me this week. They're facing Man City at home, and I think the rest of the squad looks okay. The triple up on Manchester United is going to be solid, and having one of Southampton, Nottingham Forest, and Crystal Palace in the back line is not a problem at this stage. Crystal Palace facing Liverpool away, and Southampton could be something of a banana skin for me in anti-fantasy. They are facing Leeds at home. But then again, maybe I'm hedging my bets if Leeds don't score when Rodrigo does get a return, right? So that could be something decent. So let's see how that works out. Guys, do like, share, and subscribe. Sign up if you haven't done it yet. There is still the Game Week 2 deadline before you can sign up. That is tomorrow at 11:30 British Standard Time. Discord link is right there. Like, share, and subscribe, and catch you soon.